Explain to us what Apple is announcing today.
Thanks for having me. We're here at Lane Tech High School, like you said, in Chicago, Illinois, and this is the first time in 6 years where Apple's going to be holding a media event specific to new education initiatives. So what we're expecting is a new education platform that sort of ties all the other software attempts they've had at education over the past few years. They have a classroom app, iTunes U, iBooks Author, iBooks Textbooks, so look for a little bit more of an integrated solution to go against Google Classroom, which has really been dominating the market on Chromebooks, which have 59% of the education tech market right now for the past few years. And also look for a new iPad, a cheaper model geared toward education, a little bit of a faster processor over last year's model, perhaps support for the Apple Pencil, really geared toward education at that lower price to be purchased by students, teachers, and perhaps in bulk as well.
Well, cheaper was the word that I really picked up on what you just said, Mark, because part of the reason why Chromebooks have done so well is they are much less expensive than the iPad. Is iPad really going to bring an iPad out that would be competitive with a Chromebook?
Yeah, the thing with the Chromebook is they have been much cheaper for many years as long as they've existed, but they are a little bit of a lower quality product. They're usually, plastic based, sometimes a little tricky to set up and difficult to use. What Apple's shooting for here is a sweet spot, basically bringing the iPad up to that education level at their higher quality standard with like a metal back and such, but also keeping that price point lower. Last year they came out with a $330 iPad, so look for an update to that as their education iPad strategy.
Yeah, Mark, that's the hardware. What about the software? Because Apple, after all, did this with an iPad in Los Angeles about 4 years ago. Big experiment, and it fell, I think it's fair to say, flat on its face, I think in part because the software wasn't there. What's the software that's going to run on these new iPads out in Chicago?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So the Los Angeles Unified School District, which is also a top 5 public school district in terms of size, along with the Chicago public school system, they had this $1.6 billion deal to outfit every student in the district. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of students with an iPad, and it fell apart. Apple ended up having to pay a fee to terminate the deal with the school system. The software just wasn't there yet. I'm not really sure that had to do with Apple software, more so the applications weren't there yet. So another thing you're going to be seeing here is a new framework for developers called ClassKit, which is going to allow developers to write applications that integrate with the institutions, their education, environments with technology right now.
But when they launch this in Chicago, do they have the software ready to go, or is that sort of yet to come?
Right, so we're not expecting any sort of Chicago public school system iPad one-to-one deal like was announced with Los Angeles, like you said a few years ago. At most, maybe we'll see a deal with this specific high school coming up in the next few weeks or so, but I'm not expecting any particular similar deals to the LA Unified School District deal today with Chicago.